Now, sometimes travelling has perks. Quite often travelling has lots of negatives. And one of the biggest negatives for me is the fact that I can't play my keyboards when I'm travelling. I can't lug them around. My smallest keyboard I think is a 61. No, the smallest keyboard is a 49 note keyboard. No, that's not true. My smallest keyboard is smaller than that, but I'm not going to lug that one around. But still, lugging those sort of things around when you're travelling in and out of airports is just going to damage them. So that's one of the big negatives. Now, I think I have a solution for that, and that was in another video. But sometimes travelling does have perks. And some of the perks are that you're in a city where somebody is playing and you manage to get tickets. And this video is talking about two of those such occasions. So a number of weeks ago, I happened to be in Glasgow. For those that don't know, Glasgow is a city in Scotland, and playing in Glasgow were these two, Daryl Hall and John Oates, otherwise known as Hall Oats. And they're on their Real Deal tour, which goes to all these places. And the reason why I'm not wearing this t-shirt is because I was actually wearing this t-shirt last night. It needs to go to wash, but I just grabbed it out of the wash basket to show you. Now, Hall and Oates, who both of them are now, I think, in their 70s, can still knock it out of the hill. They are ultimate professionals in terms of what they do. The act is completely polished, to the point that Daryl Hall was having an absolute hissy fit at his stage engineer, because as they came on, they had a massive amount of feedback. But also, the stage engineers whacked all the levels down to try and counter the feedback, which meant that Daryl Hall couldn't hear through his stage monitors the sound he wanted to hear. I will put out to Daryl Hall that I was sitting in the audience and I managed to get seats 3 rows, that's 1, 2, 3 rows from the stage, bang centre, sitting in front of Daryl Hall. And I can tell you, Mr. Hall, that you sounded absolutely fabulous from where I was sitting, even if what you could hear on your stage monitors was utter crap. So, be rest assured, the audience thought you were fab, even if you couldn't hear it standing on stage. The other thing I didn't realise, and this is probably just me, is the height differential between Daryl Hall and John Oates. That's quite a big differential, because you always see them in posters, they always level each other up. But obviously, on stage, unless one is standing on the box, you don't see that. And it's reminiscent of Yes, when I went to see Rick Wakeman, Trevor Rabin, and I can't remember the other guy, but the lead singer of Yes. And he's actually quite a small guy as well. And actually on stage, they actually have him on an elevated piece. But that's by the by. So, Daryl Hall and John Oates, if you get a chance to go and see them on this tour, go and see them. They knock every one of the hits that you would expect them to play if they play. And it is a fantastic set list, and they're on stage for a good couple of hours, so you will enjoy that. The other thing about going to see them in Glasgow, of course, is that their support act happened to be KT Tungstall. And again, a really, really fantastic rock. And as she said, there were 5 girls on stage. I'm not going to repeat what she called the 5 girls on stage, because this channel will probably be banned for doing that. But again, a fantastic opening act, loads of energy. And then what was really nice to see was actually, as I say, I was 3 rows from the front, and standing immediately in front of me was KT Tungstall and her band, just on the other side of the barrier, watching Hall and Oates rock out. The other thing about Hall and Oates, I don't know whether anyone's ever seen this, but Daryl Hall does something called Live from Daryl's House. He's been doing it for a few years now, and it's on YouTube. Go watch them; they are fab. you see a lot of current artists singing Hall Oats stuff, and Daryl Hall and the artists singing their stuff, really in a different way. Very, very good. Really, really enjoy that. The second artist I have seen recently is a chap called Leo Sayer. Now, many people who watch this will go, Leo who? Who is Leo Sayer? Well, that's a very good question. Who is Leo Sayer? I am of a certain age. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. That's my musical influence. It's probably the reason why I play keyboards. I've said that before, because all the synthesizer bands were just coming into their own in the 80s, when the D50 and the DX7 and started to appear. And it's where I got my love of the technical side of music from. And one of the biggest artists in the sort of late 70s, early 80s, who then just disappeared literally off the face of the earth, unfortunately, was Leo Sayer. Anyway, he's back. He's 71, and probably, probably the last time we'll see him on tour. But he's still got a fairly good voice. It's not. He has trouble with the sort of the top end notes, but he still has a very, very good voice for somebody of 71. And again, I walked out. Got there. He came on stage, and the first song he belted out was "Thunder in My Heart." I love "Thunder in My Heart." I have the album on my Spotify playlist, "Thunder in My Heart." It is a brilliant, brilliant record. And it brings me on to one of the things that I really hate about today's pick and mix culture. Spotify and other platforms like that, and I'm not going to get into the whys and wherefores of why artists hate or love Spotify, because that is not what I'm coming on about. But what Spotify and iTunes and other platforms allow you to do is this pick and mix culture, which is, I like that song, so I put it in my playlist, but I don't like that song, so I'm not going to have it there. Back in the day, artists made albums, okay, and an album was something they crafted together. And yes, the odd song on the album might be a bit naff, but in total thing, the whole album was meant to be listened to as a set piece. And yes, again, they used to release, specific tracks from the album as singles, and hopefully they went up the charts and promoted the album. But they crafted an album. They went into a studio, they wrote 10, 12 songs, and that was an album. In case of some of the prog rock bands, you might have got one song which was the whole side of side A on the vinyl record. And I really miss that. I really miss that whole freedom. And given where we are, I'm surprised we don't have more people going back to that arena. But what Spotify does is it allows this pick and mix culture, which is where you can pick a song and discard the rest of the album. And what I would say is, give the album at least one listen. If you still don't like the album, fine, pick a mix. But give the album a listen, because that artist would have spent time putting those tracks together. And I think it's wrong that you shouldn't listen to the album at least once. And in actual fact, quite often I listen to an album because I've heard a track that's been released. And actually, I prefer other tracks on the album to the track that's been released. But that's beside the point. Anyway, going back to Leo Sayer. He sang all the songs that you never knew he wrote. So we had "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing," gonna dance another way. And as the songs came on, you went, "Oh, I remember this one. And I remember that one." Because he wrote them. And you don't remember him writing them. But believe you me, he can still knock them out. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, because I've ranted on for 10 minutes or so. And I do need to go and have some food. And I have been recording some other videos this afternoon from this position. And as I've done that, over there, because it's lovely and sunny, you can't see anything over there because the camera is focusing on me. But believe you me, it is a very, very pleasant temperature here in sunny Europe. So, hopefully I might be back in the studio before too long, but if I'm not, you might see more of this. See you later. Bye-bye. So it's that point where I say, did you enjoy it? Because if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. I'm sure by now, if you didn't enjoy it, you've given this video a thumbs down. That's just life. Not everybody enjoys everything, and I recognise that. Over here somewhere is a subscribe button. If you press the subscribe button, every time I upload content to the channel, you'll get a notification. I know I upload videos like this, which is sort of the rant. I upload videos about mailbag items, which is where you or your friends or other YouTubers have left comments on the channel about specific pieces of equipment, and I try to answer those. And I also do videos about the equipment that is within my studio, how to use it, how to take it apart, and sometimes how to repair it. That's what you get from subscribing. It'd be wonderful to see you as a subscriber at some point. Over here will be 2 videos. One will always be the latest video that I've published to the channel. Another video will be selected at random from the channel based on your preferences by a YouTube algorithm, but it will always be a video from my channel. All that's left for me to do is say I hope to see you again soon, and bye-bye.